come in and go. Just give me room 88.
Canadian actress and scream queen Katharine Isabelle is in another one. This is called 88. Now, she was in American Mary.
Okay.
We talked about it on the show before. I don't like horror movies. This is not a horror movie. This is a thriller.
Yep.
And she plays a lady that's a little bit out of her mind because she goes through a traumatic experience. And so she forgets large portions of her life or a large section of her life. And that's what we're doing here. We're watching her piece together.
I ain't gonna blow smoke up your ass. You're in a load of trouble.
They could have called this 88 flashbacks, because
They could've.
it's a flashback every 5 or 6 minutes.
It's flashback on flashback on flashback.
And flashbacks are done in this artistic style. It's a choice. It kind of shows you that it's a memory and it's flickering and there's lights hitting everything. I didn't mind that too much, but you could certainly feel everybody was trying to turn this into some gritty Tarantino-esque kind of thriller. Or a Christopher Nolan Memento type experience.
Sure, which is great if you're successful at it.
Yes.
And I just feel like there were a lot of things working against this movie. One, I'm sure, was the budget.
Yeah.
Because you can tell this was more low budget, but they did have some great actors in it. Like Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd is in this.
Yeah.
Michael Ironside is in this. And why, you don't think he's a good actor?
No, it's good, but it's too hammy and too showy, the movie. Even Christopher Lloyd being dropped into this as the bad guy, I thought it was fun to have him as this big menace and this sort of Godfather-type mob boss kind of guy. It just felt like he was hamming it up and not really being the character, and I felt that with most of the actors all the way through. I think Katharine Isabelle does a pretty remarkable job because she's in this movie almost in every frame of this thing, and she does have to give us many versions of herself.
Cyrus killed your boyfriend, Astor, and you saw him do it.
She's caught in what's called a fugue state in this thing, and she doesn't really know what's real and what's fake, and that's why we have all of these flashbacks. And then she runs into this cavalcade of crazy characters that feel kind of sketched, you know, not really honed or polished.
No, you would never really meet these people in your everyday. And I was trying to decide if it didn't feel real to me because I've seen so many movies like this where there's, you know, bad guys and things go down and people are getting shot, and but the budgets were so great that maybe that's what made the movie. But I do feel like you have to believe the characters as well.
You have to believe the menace of it all,
You
right?
have to believe the menace, and it was tough to believe it only because I absolutely loved Katharine Isabelle. I thought she was fantastic. She's a fantastic actress, but I feel like she was pulling all of this through. Like, she's the reason that I kept watching because I was believing her performance.
It does look like they had a lot of fun putting this together.
There was a lot of things that they were trying to do in this movie. Was it successful? No, but I did see it all the way through to the end, and I was rooting for the protagonist, which is, you know, what you want out of a movie. It just wasn't very exciting.
Yeah, it's missing things.
It's tough to talk about this movie because I don't hate it. I thought it was entertaining.
It's a perfunctory thriller.
It felt like a Canadian production.
It did feel a little Canadian,
Okay, there was even a guy from Corner Gas, I think, in there too.
I think things can feel Canadian when they're trying to be American.
Yes.
What are you going to give 88?
I get the 6.
Yeah, it gets a 4.5 from me.
Oh!
EP's movie coverage is brought to you by Nintendo. Check out Xenoblade Chronicles 3D for the new 3DS.